So good morning again. On behalf of IDBI Capital, I would like to thank all of you and would welcome all of you to have taken out time out of your busy schedules to this webinar. Hope all of you are and your entire family and associates are keeping well. These are difficult times, and we pray for everyone's wellness and good health. We are going through most painful period in the modern world has seen ever. COVID impact on lives and livelihood is devastating, with online school and college for almost 1.5 years now. Almost getting back to normal looks a dream as of now. There is a saying in Hindi, "ये दौर भी गुजर जाएगा." So I genuinely believe and pray that this painful time would also pass with everyone, following social distancing. We all are using mask all the time. Then we have to sanitize, and we all are doing it, and we also have to ensure that we are vaccinated, which we all would be doing in next few months time. So the sooner we do all this and the most properly we do all this, we only are benefited. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are back again to understand the second wave of COVID-19 impact on the business and stock market and the way forward for next few months, maybe few years also. Nifty now is not giving any direction in the last couple of months, while many mid and small cap stocks have started to perform. Stocks like Tata Elxsi, NIIT Tech, Persistent Systems, they have given good returns. Tata Elxsi was our 2019 Diwali pick, and I do remember many questioning Mr. Prabhakar on Tata Elxsi when we had come up with the stock. We keep on saying that market is full of surprises. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we all know jotting down something in black and white has its own benefits. I would urge each of you to kindly make a note of everything, whatever Mr. Prabhakar talks, which would always help. Any which way, we would be sharing the recordings of this webinar on your registered email ID as well as the Telegram channel which we have. I'm sure you are aware about our Telegram channel. If not, then kindly see your registered mail ID. There we have sent links to join, how to join the Telegram channel. There we keep on updating on market and all the news and views multiple times a day, which would help you to stay updated all the time, even on move. This session would be presentation followed by Q&A, and we'll make sure that we answer maximum questions, if not all. You can write back to us with your query, and we'll come back to you with inputs from Mr. Prabhakar and his team. IDBI Capital and IDBI Group has always focused on the education of investor traders, and in this endeavor, without taking much of time, I would like to hand over to Mr. Prabhakar. Mr. Prabhakar is a market veteran with almost 30 years solid experience in equity market. He is one of the most respected, revered, and sought after personality in the market. So Prabhakar sir, over to you, please.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Shiv. It will take a few minutes to upload my presentation. Kindly bear with me. Yeah. So we are in a major crisis. This kind of crisis we have never seen in the last 102 years. Previously, 1.5 years back also, we have talked about Spanish flu, which had this kind of magnitude and this kind of losses of life. But we cannot compare Spanish flu. Those days, research was not up to the mark. Today, we have vaccines. Now, this is the fastest time period where vaccines have come out. So now we have vaccines. Maybe due to few problems or a few wrong decision making, we have not got it in the right time. During the budget speech also, our finance minister informed the Lok Sabha that 35,000 crores have been earmarked for vaccination of every Indian. No, and total vaccination, even at a higher cost, would cost India, almost 60,000 crores, which is less than 0.5% of our GDP. So, if we would have started it a bit early, we could have done it by now. All vaccination would have been over by now, but it is okay. But now there is a roadmap. So, always there is an opportunity in the crisis. So, Winston Churchill normal word is never let a good crisis go waste. So there are a lot of things are happening. Good, bad, ugly, everything is happening, and the loss of life and livelihood is really painful. And most the second wave has shaken everybody's confidence. Everybody has a lot of problem. It is not like the first wave where people were bit of relaxed and it didn't have a major impact. But second wave, the impact has been very huge on life and livelihood. And even the FMCG number which has come recently, the spending by people is held back. So people are spending only on what is essential. They are not spending extra money on anything else, because it is almost 15 months now. March last year the lockdown started, and we are in and out, and we don't know what is the way forward. So it is a very big crisis of modern world, where we don't have anything to say. We have today internet, we have a lot of modern technology, but still it is a crisis. And like the Spanish flu, this also now 15 months is over. Spanish flu was almost for 2.5 years. I think next 1 year also is going to be a painful period. So this is the COVID numbers. Now how fast it has hit us during January, February, and March. We thought COVID has gone away and India has managed it well. But when it came back, it has taken everybody by surprise. So now I traveled from Mumbai to Chennai, my native, by road, and I was seeing that except for people from Maharashtra, nobody was wearing mask throughout the way. And even in Chennai, there is nothing called social distancing or wearing a mask, and this led to the huge surge. We didn't follow the protocol, and we are paying the price. And the positivity ratio, if you see, it is too high. But now people have realized, now the way forward is maintaining social distancing, getting vaccinated. Why I said Maharashtra has done better than Tamil Nadu? I will tell you, the wastage of vaccine, Maharashtra is less than 0.5, whereas Tamil Nadu, being one of the most educated state, and Kerala also almost 100% literacy state, the wastage on Tamil Nadu is 10%. That means educated people never wanted to get vaccinated because they read a lot of news, and the vaccination drive didn't go well. Whereas Maharashtra has done better, and the crisis have been in Maharashtra also. But still, getting vaccinated is the only way out of this crisis. And if you see, this time it has spread across India, even the rural part of India, the crisis has spread. Last time, rural India was not affected. In spite of people, migrant workers traveling back to their villages, it never infected. But this time, the infection has gone to rural India. So it is having a major impact also. And this is the active cases. We have taken few data as how sharp the rise has been. And this, if you see 1918 to 1920, second wave has been the biggest. Third wave is larger than the first wave, but it is not as worse as the second wave. So we were ill prepared or not too prepared for the second wave, and it has impacted our businesses. It has impacted our life. The average death rate of India rolling basis is 4,000 plus. Now, and these are reported deaths. There are many things which are not reported also. So now what is the way forward? Now it is about getting vaccinated. No? Almost 18 crore people have been vaccinated. So internal meetings, I used to tell my people that if we can vaccinate 60 lakh per day, in 100 days, 60 crore of vaccination will be over, and that will make us move forward. But somewhere, our government was very slow in paying money to these vaccine makers. So whereas in US, Trump did a very good job. He in last year October, he paid money in advance for them to do the research and to come with the vaccine. So they have surplus vaccine, whereas India, which also Covaxin is India and total Indian product, and we will be having one more which is going to come from Cadila, which is an Innos product. We never funded these people. If we would have funded, they would have extended their manufacturing facility, and by now almost 25-30% of the people would have been vaccinated. But it was slow. But now the government has realized, yes, mistake has happened. Now I will give you a roadmap. So yesterday the roadmap has come. Now this is the roadmap. Now, and they say 216 crores of vaccine will be there before December. So August to December production schedule has been given, and they have on 28th of April, they have paid money to Bharat Biotech and Serum Institute for advanced vaccination also, and everyone, even state government has started to this thing. So the roadmap is now clear. So maybe in next 3 months, almost 25% of our population will be vaccinated, and we will come back to the normal. So it will have impact on the first and second quarter of our results, but the second half of Indian corporate profits are likely to go ahead, and we will see things moving forward in a good way. So previously, the roadmap which was not available, luckily, yesterday the roadmap has come, and they were working on it. They didn't give the papers, but I was confident that we will get vaccinated by October. But government has played a safety game. They are saying till December, but I will tell you from June 15th, the vaccination drive will be at top gear. And I think 25% of the population will be vaccinated before August 30th, or maximum September 15th. 25% of the population will be vaccinated. If that is done itself, then life becomes normal. And if 50% of the population is vaccinated, then things will be cooled off. Even Israel, where the vaccination has been the highest, now they have vaccinated only 55% of their population. So these are few data. Sorry, in Israel, as per the latest data, it is 62%. Previous data was 55. United Kingdom, it is 49% of vaccination. India is at 8.69, but we need to understand, here we have not taken the first vaccine also is taken. If we take 2 shots, it is less than 2%. So this number will change at the fastest rate. Now going forward, we will be the fastest vaccinating country in the world, and I think we will almost be in the 4th place by next 3 months. Because many things, we are the pharma capital. The capacity we have to vaccinate or to produce vaccine is amazing. People who are in the Telegram channel, I have posted that Gland has almost 80 crore annual capacity to produce vaccines. Now you have Aurobindo Pharma, which has a huge capacity, and there are many companies, Panacea Biotech, which has huge capacity. Even Serum has expanded. Now their capacity also is huge. So there are many vaccine makers in India with huge capacity. But you need to give them the technology. You need to provide them some assistance so that we get vaccinated, and that has started to happen. And things are going in a war-ready speed, I think vaccination is the only game changer which we are looking forward at current space. So no, this is now government has opened up. So these are a few data which I discussed already, that it will take only 0.36% of the GDP. Already government in this budget has provided 35,000 crores, and whatever additional provision now the state governments will take care. Now I think collectively it will be 67,000 crore. Now it is a very small amount considering the damage it can create. You think in April month our export was one of the highest ever. Now you take the other data. Now GST collection, it has been highest ever. Now, we are almost collecting 1,25,000 crores as GST in a month. And the amount which we are paying for vaccinating every individual is only 67,000 crores. But by locking down, now government is going to lose the revenue. Our petrol and diesel demand has come down. Where the taxes are very heavy. So vaccinating people at government cost would be the best thing to happen. And most of the governments have agreed, state government or central government, it is going to be free, because only 5% of the population can afford to get vaccinated on their own money. There is 95% of the population where government has to do. So there is an example where we have done polio vaccination because it is free. Pan India, the polio vaccination has been very successful. So Dr. Reddy is going to manufacture Sputnik 5. Cadila will have their own COVID vaccine. Gland, as I mentioned, has a huge capacity, and the Russian RFID has outsourced their thing to get manufactured in Gland. So they also will manufacture Sputnik 5. And Aurobindo has a spare capacity, and a lot of global vaccine makers will use Aurobindo's capacity to manufacture vaccine. There are other companies which are going to benefit out of it, but due to constraint of places, have not taken much of these stocks. We have been bullish on hospital stocks, and these stocks have done very good. Even lab where testing is going on. So Max Healthcare is one of our top pick in all these 6 stocks. So it is a company which has been demerged out of Max vertical, and it is managed by Abhay Soi, who is a turnaround specialist. So it is the second largest hospital chain with the highest bed, and they are expanding their presence across India. So they have presence in Delhi and Mumbai, and other part of India also they are expanding. Apollo Hospital, anyway, we have been bullish for a very long time, but any good correction would be an opportunity to buy Apollo Hospital. Fortis, there is a change in the management. So and the capacity which they have created is good enough. And if you get a good management, there is a court tussle which is going on. That is why the stock is not performing. Once that clarity comes from the court, I think this will be an outperformer. Dr. Lalpath, Thyrocare, and Metropolis, we have been discussing this stock long time, but now we need to wait for a correction to buy these stocks. COVID impact, any person who has had a COVID impact, we need to do regular test also. So these recognized lab will always benefit, and Metropolis has increased a presence in South India by buying a major lab there. So I think that argues well for these kind of laboratories. We thought we will manage COVID very well, and our GDP numbers, everybody increased FY22 GDP numbers, but due to the second wave, which has been so severe, that GDP numbers have been downgraded. Now people are talking about 9, 8.5, but we need to understand, we had a negative growth in FY21, but this time it is not a total lockdown. Even the number which has come for May first week, these numbers point out that Now, the export has been very good. China one policy has been working out. Yesterday, even Welspun Industries came with the result, and in their con call, I was reading. No, they have mentioned that that many companies are now following China one policy. Even Target, due to their 2016 mistake, which stopped their sourcing from Welspun Industries, they have agreed to source. So in 2016, Target was 10% of their market share in their production and revenue. Now again they have got back Target, and there are a lot of customers added. So textile is one place where there are a lot of action. That is what Roundtable says. And export has been very good, irrespective of the lockdown, which has been different this time compared to what happened last year. Now, I think it will not have a major impact on our growth, but once we get vaccinated, many other industries will start to perform. If you understand, hotels, restaurants, these are non-functional. There is a huge loss of job, and traveling as an industry. I will tell you, Shiv was mentioning about schools and colleges not functioning for 15 months. So everybody is doing online. So the number of school buses, the number of staffs, which the school was employing, that has come down. So that industry has been very badly impacted, and even kids, because they are sitting at home, there is a trauma in their this thing. They are unable to move out of the house, and the way their behavior change has happened in the last 15 months. It is very painful. But once the vaccination happens, I think we will get back to normal by December, or most probably, but first half of FY 2022. So these are very important. And many factories have shut down temporarily for maintenance, but I think the production or other things are not being impacted. Foreign flows in recent times, every year we have been good in getting the foreign flows compared to other emerging market, but now we have a reverse flow. But this is due to the second wave. But once our vaccination drive happens, I think the flow will start to reverse, and we will start getting more flows from foreign funds. This is our growth, our Nifty EPS growth. FY21, we expect 534. The results are coming. It is too early to say, but results have been very good. March quarter result per se has been very good. So I don't see any problem in the result. But now FY22 and 23 are years. Those will be very good. So going forward, except for this one quarter, maybe the impact can be marginally in the second quarter. I think we will come back to normal. And what has happened is, due to COVID, the winners are taking it all. You take the results of Asian Paints or any major companies. From unorganized, it has moved to organized sector. So that is why the results have been very good. So there is a mismatch in the sectors, but still, corporate result wise, the result till now has been very good. IT has reported very good results. Even few companies, results have been very good. The pain point is banking. When banking, except for HDFC Bank and ICICI, the NPA level, gross NPA level, the provisioning has increased. So the pain point is banking, and due to lockdown and other effects, that banking sector or NBFC sector will have an impact, because collection is not easily possible, and many businesses are at MSME level or small level, they are getting disappeared. So I think that will have some negative impact. But our foreign exchange reserve is something which is regularly moving up, which gives a lot of comfort. our IAP number, it was a surprise, but we need to understand after a negative number last year, this jump is likely to be there. So we should not attach too much of importance to this IAP number when the volatility is big. Even inflation has come marginally better. So infrastructure push, this is something we need to see. So these were ministry-wise spending. So telecommunication is where 65% extra government said it will spend. Renewable energy 58%. And renewable energy, Tata Power is one company which has a huge order book of solar power. So many people used to ask me, which company will benefit from solar power. So Tata Power is one company which is likely to benefit from the solar power. And our infra spend has been increasing. Whatever the data are coming, the minister, Mr. Nitin Gadkari, he has been very aggressive and he has made changes in the department. So they have a huge debt which is running to 2.7 lakh crores. So what has happened is, the kilometer per day has increased to 37. Previously, it was 21 kilometers. Now, it has jumped to 37 kilometers, and 13,000 kilometer of road and 6 lakh crore project is pending. So that means it is a huge project, and infra spend will continue. So companies like L&T, KNR Construction, PNC Infra will perform, and this lockdown has not impacted infra companies. So infra companies don't have a major problem in the lockdown. They are functional as before. So companies with good cash flow, good management will perform. But there is a slowdown in project in few areas due to strict lockdown. Maybe Tamil Nadu had a strict lockdown of recent. But that is okay. These these lockdowns will not be there for more than 1 or 1.5 months. And many states have allowed construction projects and few other as a essential. So I think infra companies, due to their ongoing project, it is likely to be good, and even cement companies have enjoyed the benefit. If you have noticed, cement companies have done very well. Ultratech, Shree Cement, ACC, Ambuja, Ramco Cement, all cement companies, Dalmia Bharat, everything has done very good. Even small cement companies have enjoyed the best EBITDA and best margins also. So I think these companies are likely to continue the performance as government focuses on infra spending. Let it be railways or roadways, both have been the key pet project for the government. So government has done a lot of things. They are setting up ARC, the bad bank. Also, they are going to have a SBI person as the chairman for bad bank. There are insurance companies which will be privatized. Even LIC, government is talking about privatization. But previously, budget, when we presented, we were talking about the change in the words from disinvestment to privatization. So that is more important. From disinvestment to privatization is going to be the key. And if that happens, it is going to be a game changer for India. And there is a National Rail Plan 2030, where the plan is likely to increase our speed of the railways, and even the Western dedicated freight corridor and Eastern dedicated freight corridor. The expectation is it will be completed by 2022. And in the Western and Eastern, a part of the project is already functional. I think it is almost 200-300 kilometers. It is functional and it is working very good, and it has increased the speed of the goods traveling also. That is what I'm hearing. But once the project is completed, it will reduce cost and it will increase the turnaround time. That is more important. So why I'm talking about turnaround time, next slide I will show you. But important is 72% of our rail network has become broad gauge. So by 2023, government is expecting that every line, meter gauge or every, narrow gauge, everything will become a broad gauge and electrified route. Now by 2023, so which is a very ambitious plan. It will increase the speed of the train. The speed of the train. This is the data. Our goods train travel at 25.9 kilometer per hour. It was in 2014, but later it has reduced. But now again the speed has increased. Now due to COVID lockdown and other things, the number of trains have reduced. But in China, the average goods train travel at 100 kilometer per hour. So if we travel at that speed, which is 4 times higher than us, then your cost comes down, and the time taken to travel long distance also is very efficient. What happens is our road sector is more efficient now. So totally 64% of our goods are transported by road, and rail is only 27%. And we have one of the best and well networked railway connectivity. Due to cost factors and due to the speed, the goods are not moving in railways. It is more moving towards roadways. But cost wise, roadways now is 1.5, whereas railways is 1. It is cost per kilometer ton. So now even waterways is lower, but we don't use waterways. The government focus is there, but we have not used it very effectively. But once our goods train starts to move faster, then bulk of this goods will get transferred. That is why the dedicated freight corridor, the western side and eastern side, will be a game changer for India. So that will start improving our export. And if we can, what is the advantage China has is their turnaround time. Whenever the factory produces goods, from there to the loading point in the port, it is the lowest in the world. So if we start matching China, then the China plus one policy will start benefiting India. So privatization. So previous in 2000 government, we had few companies getting privatized. Now VSNL became Tata Communication. Even Balco was partially sold off. There were efforts, and after that, in last 20 years or 18 years, we have never seen any privatization. But this time, government has allowed inspection of Bharat Petroleum, a recent report. So we hope once the COVID crisis ebbs down, the privatization of Bharat Petroleum will pave way for more privatization. There are many companies online for privatization and listing also. So if it starts to happen, then it will be a game changer for PSU companies. Even in this market, the value of PSUs, the price to book ratio or P ratio, if you take, they are trading at a very low multiple. But in the last 4-5 months after the word from disinvestment to privatization, many companies have given average 50% return. SAIL has done very good. Power Grid has done very good. Even NTPC has started to perform. NMDC has started to do very good. Few companies, it is due to metal and mining rally, but things are improving on the ground level. There are a lot of changes which are happening on PSU side also. So fiscal deficit, I don't think that is a worry. We are in a crisis period. We need to loosen the purse so that we get back to the new normal. So we should not worry about spending aggressively, and making economy coming back to normal is more important, because that will create a lot of job opportunity. Government should not worry about fiscal deficit at this point of time, and we are at a very comfortable level, so we should not worry too much on that. Now, on the flip side or on the negative side, now we need to understand now there is a cost inflation because of higher crude prices, higher commodity prices, which is impacting the inflation, and which people, few experts feel even monetary policy tightening might happen. So, if that happens, it is negative. But I have my own doubts that will not happen till the economy doesn't stabilize. Tightening will be a disaster, and I don't think that kind of move is warranted at this point of time. But very important is now whenever you buy the top 2-3 companies in any sector, because leader takes it all. So for me, I'm a safety investor, so I don't like to lose money. No, I want a safer return. So in a long term, if I get 15% CAGR or 12% CAGR, I'm happy. But I don't like losing money. So capital protection is the important theme. So whatever stock I discuss or whatever stock we display, it is based on my capital protection theory and with a good corporate governance theory. So that is very important in my stock selection. So this story is continuing. Top 10 companies have taken all the profit after tax market share. No, the leaders take it all. No, it is proving to be right. So, in spite of the top 10 profit after generator, the top companies by market cap, PSUs are not there, but slowly PSUs have started to perform. Power Grid is at all-time high after the InvIT, so it is a very good move. So normally I used to say that any stock which makes an all-time high after 4 or 5 years, then that means there is a change in the attitude. So Power Grid is one stock which will outperform the market from current levels also. So there are multiple triggers. This presentation was there even in my previous thing. So where CMDs have been appointed for 5 years. So one is Cochin Shipyard, where Mr. Madhu Nair, he has a term till 2026. NTPC, Mr. Gurdeep Singh has term till 2021. SAIL is one more which has happened after this, after the budget. So I have not included SAIL. SAIL also has a CMD who has a good term, and she comes from a research background also. So she has done a big turnaround and they have reduced debt to a great extent. So there are many PSUs which are getting longer tenure CMD. So when you get longer tenure CMDs, the vision and their path to growth is better. What happened previously is people used to come in the last stage before their retirement, and in 3 months or 6 months or 1 year they used to retire, and the focus was not on business. So government understood this and they have started to give longer tenure for CMDs, which is a game changer, and it is working very well for many companies. There is a focus and there is a vision on all PSUs, and that is reflected in numbers also. If you see the quarterly numbers or a few other numbers, that vision is now getting reflected, and this is a very positive move, and it has been well appreciated by institutions also. So these are PSUs which are still at a great value, but we need that disinvestment. For example, now I was comparing BPCL with HPCL. The kind of value Indepetro has is huge. Now, if the disinvestment of BPCL happens or the privatization of BPCL happens, Indepetro can double also from current level. That is the value it has. Now, if you check the debt or market cap, it has a great value. But people have discounted PSUs in a great way. So that is one thing. And with China being aggressive, defense is one sector which is likely to do very good. Let it be Hindustan Aeronautics, BEL, Midani, BDL. I think defense, Indian defense, PSU defense are likely to do very well. So we are positive, but any correction would be a good opportunity to buy. And power, there is a re-rating. There is no new power addition which is coming. And now the old power company, NTPC or Power Grid, the efficiencies have started to improve. So I think power as a play, there is some upside. Even if in 2-3 years, if it is a 50% upside, it is a good return. In metal, any good correction, sale will be again a good buy. The way they have reduced their debt is something very positive. And in NMDC, in our Telegram channel also, we have been telling NMDC is likely to sell their steel asset. They have a steel capacity which is going to come on stream, and the base price is 24,000 crores, and the total market cap of NMDC is 50,000 crores. So 50%, they will get back as cash. So there is huge value in NMDC. Any correction in NMDC is an opportunity to buy. And they have got back the Karnataka mining thing. So NMDC, you need to be a patient investor. It will not move as per our wishes, but there is a change in the way things are perceived. I think NMDC, if the deal goes through, if they are able to, because now steel is the hottest sector and they have a capacity which can be sold. And that is the government intention. They don't want NMDC to hold that plant. And the base price is 24,000 crores. So NMDC is a company to watch. It can double from current level in next 3 to 5 years. And railway companies, these companies, IRCON, the dividend yield itself is very good. IRCON and RITES, the dividend yield is very good. So we are positive on these stocks. But there is a caveat in PSUs. If the disinvestment happens, the returns will be even higher. Otherwise, the returns are likely to be at the range of 15 to 20%. Let us see how things pan out. So we are at a very comfortable position when we come to India debt to GDP ratio. So we should not worry too much about spending on the economy and our medicines or vaccinating people. That is very important. Once you vaccinate people, the taxes are going to rise. Now, if people can move, mobility is more important. And to tell you one data, in month of April, the average toll collection of India, after it was digitalized, it was 120 crores. So average in a month, it would have crossed 4,000 crores. 4,000 crores in a year is 48,000 crores. So 48,000 crores in one area. I was talking about the debt of NHAI, which is 2,72,000 crores. So it becomes easy to repay debt or to expand. So our toll collection, if we come back to normal, our toll collection will improve. Our GDP, GST collection will start to improve. And importantly, our petrol and diesel consumption, where we pay the highest tax, will start to improve. It will benefit the government. So vaccinating people at the fastest pace is more important to get things on ground and for the things to move on. So we should not worry about our physical deficit or debt, which is at a very controllable level compared to other countries. So these are few data. These are GST collection, which I was mentioning. So the way we have done very good in GST collection in the last few months. Maybe April might not be as good as previous months, but we will come back to normal. And I think the government has removed all the flaws in the GST collection, and going forward, we will see the improvement in GST collection, and that is more important. So due to lockdown, there has been a lot of changes in the way people started to behave. So if you recollect, CDSL and BSE has been our stock from 2020 April. When the lockdown happened, we started to have a lot of meetings. Now in 2020, the Zoom meeting used to be every 45 days or 2 months. Now after budget, we are doing it. There is a gap. But every meeting I used to say the number of accounts opened because many people are at home is very high, and CDSL will be a major beneficiary. How the data has proved right, CDSL in last 12 months has added 1 crore accounts. So they were less than 2 crore. Now they have almost crossed 3 crore accounts, and they have comfortably crossed NSDL, which was the market leader before 2020 March. So that is the kind of benefit CDSL has enjoyed due to discounting brokerage or whatever you say. No, but CDSL has gained market share, and any good correction in CDSL will be an opportunity to buy. After we have said the stock has more than double, but still there is value in CDSL. It is an annuity method, so you don't need to apply too much. Total India's Demat account is only 5 crores, slightly more than 5 crores, which is less than 5% of the Indian population. So if our economy is going to grow good, and if our growth is going to be very high, and if our per capita income is going to double in the next 5-6 years, then CDSL will have more accounts. So I think with two players, CDSL has a major advantage. So I don't think for a long-term investor it is still bad, but any correction would be a good opportunity to buy. BSE India, it is the second largest exchange, but as I always say, it is leader takes it all. The leader is NSE, leader takes it all, but BSE has become leader in few segments. So that has started to benefit BSE, but it will take another 1-2 years. But still at 700 rupees, the valuation is very attractive. They have reported a EPS of 34 or something, and if they can grow at 20%, I think it is very good. And the cash in their balance sheet is almost covering 80%. That is more important. So their dividend yield is one of the best. So now what has happened, the retail frenzy has started to make many stock move up. In India also, there was one Bombay Oxygen company. Because of the oxygen demand, suddenly people started to buy Bombay Oxygen, which was an NBFC company. So avoid these kind of things. Be in stock which you understand, where you have, the fundamentals. There you do a buy and hold. Don't get into stock where you don't know anything. Just because of Bombay Oxygen, many people bought and they are stuck up. And this happens every time because there are a lot of new investors who have come in and they don't understand what is good and what is bad. And these kind of speculative activity always takes, and they learn after paying a price. We are very clear. We are guiding you people. Any queries you can write to our team. You can mail us and we normally get back. And these kind of mistakes are very important to be avoided. Don't get into the gamification. In US, people came together in an online platform and they started to speculate. They trapped a few fund managers and they made money. But it is 1-2 times you can do it, not every time. But when these things happen, the operator there is very smart. He gets you into a lesser known or evil company, and you will be holding it for 5-10 years and it without no return. And now retail investor have a habit. If they buy a stock at 2000, now when it comes to 1000, they think it is even more value. And at 500, the value even increases, and they average it till it is zero. That averaging should not be done. If a company is coming down, what is the reason? Is it something to do with business or because of the economic activity or government rule? We need to understand that. And today, the transparency of every corporate has started to increase. And if you read, we yesterday also in our Telegram channel, whatever results came, we have posted there. We have given the link also. Kindly go through that. We need, it is our hard-earned money. We need to at least know the basics so that we are in the right company. For me, whenever many people ask me, when will the market correct? See, market correction is something it is very unique, and it doesn't say as an advance. But whatever I've been tracking the market in last 31 years, every correction has given us positive return. So whenever there is a correction, ETF is the best way to get into the market, because in ETF you don't need to understand the corporate governance issue. You don't need to understand which sector will move up, which sector will not move. For example, the recent performance has been in steel sector. Whereas your banks have not come back to normal. IT has done very good. Pharma has done very good, and the beneficiary has been Nifty. So Nifty has recovered very fast, whereas there are many companies which have not gone to the previous 15,000 level of January 2020 in Nifty. They have not gone. So when you buy a basket like Nifty ETF, it covers, it reduces your risk. Maybe the returns are low, but the returns are safe. So ETF is a way of a passive investment, and it is a great investment whenever there is a correction in market. So very interesting slides, where we have introduced a lot of PLI to make us in China plus one strategy. So we are 3% of the total manufacturing capacity of the world, whereas China is at 28.4%. Something which is puzzling is in steel. China has 60% manufacturing capacity, and India's capacity is just 6%. And the worst part is 60% manufacturer now buys steel from India. So that is why many steel stocks have gone up. But something which I don't understand is why is the giant buying from India? Is it to take up the prices or to revive the sector, or is there something which we don't understand? So we need to anyway, whatever has happened, many companies have reduced debt. Tata Steel, which had 1 lakh crore of debt, now the debt is almost 72,000 crores. So every company has used this opportunity to reduce debt. Now you take SAIL, Jindal Steel, JSW Steel, everybody has reduced debt, and the free cash flows have started to improve. And my metal analyst is saying even our prices are still at 18% lower to China prices. So even if there is 10-15% correction, Indian steel companies will not be impacted. So we have a correction in steel, but a good correction, healthy correction, gives us an opportunity to again trade in steel. I think this rally might continue for another 6 months to 1 year. Steel is a very tricky cycle. It is very difficult to put numbers to it, but you can have 5 or 8% of exposure in steel still. So these are PLI schemes which government has introduced, and in few sectors the PLI schemes are very attractive. Let it be mobile manufacturing, let it be auto ancillaries manufacturing, smartphone, laptop manufacturing. So in electronic goods, the scheme has been very good. Even in consumer durable goods like air condition, the scheme has been very good. But there are few schemes, solar schemes have not taken off. So we need to be mindful of what scheme has attracted manufacturer, what scheme has not. And due to lockdown, I think there is slight mismatch in what it is happening, but government might do the course correction. So once that happens, I think Dixon, Johnson Control, Voltas are few stocks which are beneficiary of the new government policy. But for these companies to benefit, it will take minimum 2 years. So because the scheme benefit will start to occur in the second year only. So if you are a patient investor, these are stocks to buy and hold. This is very interesting data. India is a major two-wheeler exporter in the globe. So and in Tata Bajaj Auto, almost 40% of what they manufacture has been exported. And the second place goes to TVS Motor, which exports 28% of their total production, or even the revenue we can call, whatever numbers you put it. No, it is almost 28% is what TVS Motor is exporting, and 40%. But if you take April numbers, Bajaj Auto numbers say a different trend. Their export mix is crossing 55%. So even if there is no demand locally, Bajaj Auto is doing very good in their export. I think now the PLI scheme also will start to increase their productivity. It will reduce their cost of inputs, and that is something Bajaj Auto has been working on, because their major supplier has been from China, and to turn India as an ancillary supplier, we need this PLI scheme, and this is likely to help. And even Hero Motor is working on that, and we will have electric vehicle from Ola, which is there in Tamil Nadu. So I think in two-wheeler we are doing very good. In car, Hyundai, which is not a listed company, Hyundai is doing good. Maruti, now the percentage is 7%, and going forward we expect this numbers to move higher. So automobile as an industry, with the changes also, I think things are going to be positive for two-wheeler manufacturer. So we are very positive on Bajaj Auto and TVS. IT sector, this lockdown has had only a positive impact. There is no negative impact. There are few companies which are there is a change in management. Wipro, if you see the numbers, it is not reflective, but there is a ET Prime article where they have said, the changes which the new management has done. He has removed almost 160 middle-level management people, and he has made everybody accountable, and that is starting to reflect in numbers. The growth-wise, this quarter has been one of the best quarter of Wipro. I think the new management initiative is helping. Even in Godrej CP, in Telegram channel, we posted those articles also. The change, the Mr. Sitapati coming from Hindustan Lever to Godrej CP, the stock gets re-rated. What strategy is going to make, we need to watch out, but there are a lot of management changes going on. We need to be mindful of that. And these management changes will see some re-rating in stock. One more stock is Bata India, where a new management is going to take place, and yesterday Bata India was also up. So government focus on agriculture reform. Now the farmer protest almost has fizzled out. Now, and whatever I can see on the ground level, in Maharashtra, there is a website called Kisan Connect, where farmers are directly supplying to the household. So there is no intermediate. You order through Kisan Connect. The farmer, they have created a set of people together, and they are supplying to the household. So Kisan Connect, like that. If once farmers are empowered, then they start getting pricing power. So I think now agrochemical companies have started to do very good. Dhanuka is near all-time high. Rally is near all-time high. PA Industries always outperform. Only two stocks are now languishing. One is Coromandel, other is Bayer. And with this monsoon also to be above normal or normal monsoon, I think agrochemical companies still offers a lot of value in this market. Mining, there are a lot of changes. Anyway, NMDC have discussed already. And I will tell you, even in Coal India, there is a huge improvement. The e-auction has improved their profitability. And at 130, we said due to their dividend yield being 12%, Coal India offers a very good return. Now, for a short term, 6 months to 8 months, Coal India still offers a good bet. So mining is likely to be a sector to be watched till the commodity cycle. Why mining is taking a front seat is the imported cost has increased due to Baltic Freight Index moving higher. It is at 10 years high. So anything which is imported, the cost is very high. So local production has that cushion. So I think Coal India and NMDC will benefit. And labor reform, which the government has done before the COVID, the real benefit has not flowed in. But once we are vaccinated and life becomes normal, I think the manufacturing activity will benefit. And I will tell you, there is few negotiation is going between European Union and India, and it has been on the back burner from 2013. So now again, after 8-9 years, both governments are willing to climb down. Because Europe needs India to counter China, and India needs Europe so that we get back to normal mode. So the agreement, free trade agreement, is likely to happen with some modification, and that is likely to be positive for our growth. If we have to move away from this $3 trillion economy, we need more agreements, and that is likely to happen. So always be with the leaders. So Indigo Paints, I was checking the numbers. Their full year revenue was 700 crores. Whereas the leader, which is Asian Paint, they have reported a revenue of 21,000 crores, which is an annual number. So they are number 5. So number 4 itself, they are 5 times more revenue. It is more than 3,500 crores. So for them to improve, and the valuation which Indigo Paints command is mind-boggling. It is at 130p for 14 rupees, 90 paisa as a EPS. It is very expensive, and I don't know whether the growth is likely to come to them, because it is a niche paint company based out of Kerala, and Kerala has a unique style of painting. For that, catering to that demand, it is okay. When they may come into a pan-India decorative paints, so whether they have that kind of this thing needs to be seen. And we are paying the 5th largest manufacturer, where there are MNC companies also, Akzo Nobel, MNC company, Kansai Nerolac, MNC companies are there now, and overtaking them or becoming number 2 or 3 is not going to be easy. So, but the price we pay, we need to be mindful. We need to be with leaders. Asian Paints, after result, Asian Paint has been one of our top pick. Every correction, the rally has been very good in Asian Paints. So when you are with the leader, it gives a lot of comfort. And if somebody wants to protect their capital and get 12 to 15% CAGR return, I think be with the leaders. The margin of safety is very high. And even in US, same thing is happening. Now almost 20% of the company takes the 70% of the profits, or 20 companies take the 70% of the profit. And even in US, the same thing is happening. So we need to be with quality companies. So quality always is pricey. So we need to use any correction to buy into these companies. These are the leaders in their respective sector. In hair oil, it is Marico. In kids infant milk powder, it is Nestle. Almost 92% is a market share. Asian Paint, it is almost 45% is the decorative paint sector they command. Asian Paints. It is a monopoly when it comes to rail booking, IRCTC. Titan, in jewelry and even in their watches, they have a monopoly. In QSR, Domino's is almost 20% market share. Maruti Suzuki in car, 50% market share. Hero Motor, again 45% market share. Now in private banking, HDFC is a market leader. But in HDFC Bank, there is one article which I posted in the Telegram, where the article discuss about how they have slightly messed up in their online technology. Companies which don't improve their online user experience, then it is going to be very difficult. They have an outsourced model, whereas Access presentation was there about 6 months back, where they have recruited in March 2020 almost 180 people only for IT. In the year FY20, their main recruitment has been IT people, not employees for the bank. No? So IT has become a backbone of banking. So any bank which has a very good user experience, online user experience, will take the market share. HDFC was having that, but due to two glitches, now they cannot give any credit card. So there is some problem. Even HDFC AMC, which was a market leader, has become number 3. We need to be mindful of the leadership. Now, HDFC AMC, number 1 today is SBI AMC. The SBI Mutual Fund is a market leader. Number 2 has gone to ICICI Pru MF, and number 3 is HDFC. So that is why HDFC AMC is not performing. They have compromised on the leadership portion, whatever is the reason. So we need to understand now what is the market share they command, what is the product, and how focused they are in their product. In Pidilite, they have been maintaining the leadership. And when it comes to aircraft, defense, Air Force aircraft, HAL has maintained their leadership. For innerwear, Page Industries, APL Apollo, the kind of return, it has been our Diwali pick in 20 Diwali, November 20 Diwali, it was my Diwali pick, APL Apollo and Supreme. So these are leaders, and leaders, whenever they correct, the rally back is very sharp. So every dip is an opportunity to buy. So our digital thing has started to improve, and I'll tell you, UPI transaction has taken India by surprise. It is a homemade solution. And now by 2023, we will have about 65 crore or 650 million internet users, and penetration has been now 50%. In 2015, it was 27. It has become 50%. There was one Jan article where 3 things have changed in India. So very interesting 3 things. One is banking for all, Jan Dhan, Aadhaar, and mobile. So this JAM triology, it has changed the way India thinks. So this mobile happened in 1997. In 20 years, India, everyone has a mobile. Aadhaar also, it has been a very good initiative. Now, it is like our ID card as a citizen of India, and everywhere Aadhaar is linked. And Jan Dhan, banking for all. Now, all these have been game changer in India. And with more of digital transaction, I think we are moving to the next level. When compared to China, our digital transaction is still low. Now, there they don't exchange currency. Everything is digital wallet. They pay by mobile pay. And in India, we still maintain physical pay. So once that is changed, I think that is going to be the key factor, and it will improve our tax paying efficiency also. So these are a few companies which we like in digital mode. Already Tata Elxsi has done good, but still any good correction would be an opportunity to buy. Matrimony, the reserve they have is huge. India Mart for business to business, India Mart is still doing very good. There, due to just dial competition, the stock has started to correct, but at a certain level, they also will be very attractive. State Bank of India cards is number 2. HDFC cards is number 1 with 25% market share. SBI cards with 19% market share, and after the ban on HDFC card to procure more cards, I think their market share is slowly increasing, and the spend is also increasing. And with huge reach in rural India, State Bank of India has almost nearing 24,000 branches, and their reach is something which is making group companies benefit more. Even SBI Life is one of our top picks, and if you see the life insurance table, their cost to new NBP policies is one of the lowest in the industry. It is because of their rural reach that they are able to source so many accounts. So SBI cards and SBI Life are few stocks which can surprise on the positive side if someone who can invest for 1-2 years also. So these are few stocks which we like. In consumer, we like Asian Paints, Trend. Trend is a Tata Group company, and because most of their products are own manufactured, their margins are above 10%. Normally, in a showroom, you don't get so much of margin, but because most of the West Side products, it is manufactured in-house, their margins are very good. Bata is one, Nestle and Titan. These are stocks where management are very good, corporate governance, no issues, and the growth is also there. So I think once the lockdown is over, these stocks are likely to perform. Banking, we like the technological platform. That is where the growth is likely to come. So HDFC Bank, Kotak, Axis, ICICI, IndusInd, State Bank of India, the reach as well as their digital experience is more important. QSR, Jubilant Food, Westlife, we like. Burger King, we are not too positive on it because they are expanding. They are a loss-making company. And when you expand, the stores to turn EBITDA positive will take time. Minimum 2 years is the break even for stores to turn profitable. So that is something we have not added Burger King. There will be odd trading rallies which we will indicate in our Telegram channel or in our other newsletters. AMCs and exchange, we like NAM India. They are taking a good market share in ETF. Now, the ETF passive investment has become a mode of investment. So NAM India is having a leadership. It is Nippon AMC, which is a Japanese company, and due to their global presence, all their global activities is rooted through NAM AMC. It will move slower, but the returns are going to be very good. In specialty chemical, we like Aarti Industries. Sumitomo Chemical, again Japanese chemical company which has all Japanese product manufactured here and supplied globally also. It is also called as Sumi Chemical. SRF, fantastic result, and their expansion plan is also on steam. So any good correction is an opportunity to buy. Vinati and Deepak, they have consolidated their leadership position in their respective segment. We need to understand China plus one policy is benefiting all these specialty chemical companies. So any good correction is an opportunity to buy. And lockdown, no lockdown, these companies are likely to outperform the market. So previously we used to like only life insurance. There is one change. We have made it as insurance because we have added ICICI General Insurance also. HDFC Life, SBI Life, and ICICI Pru are life insurance company we like. But we need to understand due to the kind of death rate due to COVID, there are some claims which are happening. So profitability will be short-term impact. But I think once we are vaccinated and once we start following social distancing, now fear has come into people. So I think the rates will come down. So I think insurance companies will bounce back. The highest claim has been for HDFC Life. So that is why SBI Life and ICICI Pru has done very good. But these are blips which happen. These are events which have happened after 100 years. I don't think that will continue. In agrochemical, Coromandel, Dhanuka, Rallis, Bayer Corp, PI are few stocks we like. And these companies are likely to outperform them. Hospitals, anyway, we have discussed. I think it is a reputation specialty. Telecom, Reliance Jio and Bharti Airtel, number 1 and number 2. Jio, the total subscriber wise, it is number 1. Bharti Airtel, active customer wise, it is number 1. And few unviable African assets have been sold. And Bharti Airtel is going to be a mega turnaround. And they have low internet connectivity, OneWeb, which in partnership with UK government, they have taken over. And they have introduced a lot of rockets into the space. And that is going to be a game changer. So when that OneWeb comes, internet connectivity in remote part of India or remote part of the world will become possible. So it is a very good initiative from Bharti Airtel. I expect the stock to double in next 5 years. So for someone who has that kind of patience, doubling in 5 years is 15% CAGR return. So in metals, JSW Steel, Tata Steel, Hindalco, NMDC, this is the order we like. We even like SAIL, we have not included here. And in pharma, we like Dr. Reddy, Biocon, Alembic Pharma, Cipla, Cadila, Sun Pharma. APL, the results have been very good, but their guidance has been very bad. They said this year they've clocked the EPS of 60 rupees. Next year they say it will be 50 rupees because China has increased the raw material cost, and without FDA approving one of their plant which they have built in US, once the approval comes, it will be a game changer. So normally, due to COVID, there is a delay in that approval. So once the COVID is out of the way, I think the approval will come maybe 6 months down the line. So I think APLL is a fantastic buy at current level. People, whenever we were traveling, we used to recommend Ipca Lab. Those days, Ipca Lab used to be 800, 900 rupees. And all of a sudden, the lockdown came and the stock doubled to 2,000 rupees. So, patience always pays. So I think, most of our stocks are likely to do very well. Even Dr. Reddy, in next 5 years, it is likely to be a doubler. We have been recommending Dr. Reddy from 1,800. Now it is near all-time high, but still we feel this stock has huge potential. Now, COVID is something which after 1 year we will forget. We will not talk about it. So the stock for a long term, one should not always focus on COVID. COVID will be, once the vaccination, global vaccination happens, it will be out. In India, in next 3-4 months, the vaccination would be complete, and in globally also we can supply. We are 127 crore population, and if we can vaccinate in 3-4 months, then we can vaccinate the globe also at that fastest pace. And India has been very kind to many countries supplying vaccines. It is a very good gesture from our Prime Minister to. There has been a political controversy. It is okay, but we have done a good job, and we will be doing a good job as a responsible global state. So I think our pharma companies are going to do very good. In IT, we like Wipro, we like LTI. LTI has corrected 25% from the high, so it has come to a reasonable level. But for a long-term investor, one can slowly buy. Infosys, TCS are leaders, and they will gain the market leadership globally also. Now I think with the vaccination roadmap, hotel has come back. Now we like Indian hotel. They have handled the crisis very good. Mahindra Holiday, Indian operation has been break even. They are not making losses, irrespective of what is happening. But their global operation, yes, they are making some losses there, but you cannot do anything due to lockdown. Lemon Tree is our third stock in hotel, but these are for 5 to 10 years investor. Next 1 year, I don't think there is going to be a turnaround. In auto, we like Bajaj Auto, TVS Motor, Hero, Ashok Leyland. So now we have come to the end.